Woo! Great morning. Brand new week. Your boy was in the 6 a.m. club, and I'm fired up. If you don't know what the 6 a.m. club, it means I woke up when the front number on the clock said 6. And I already mastered the 7 a.m. club. I feel like it's getting better. 6 a.m. club. I know some of you guys are probably out there like, man, I wake up 5:30. That's nothing. Everybody has their thing. That's their challenge. Waking up early consistently is mine in the past. Now I'm defeating it. 6 a.m. club. Rox wanted to cuddle a little bit more, but I said, we about to get it. So she got up 6 a.m. club too. So I just want to fill you guys in because I feel fired up. Nothing like a new week to motivate you, yo. And it's the perfect time. We're finishing out the first quarter of the year. It's round 3 of 2017. And we've got an amazing Triple M for you guys today. We've got an amazing woman who really inspires so many people. If you've heard anything about her story, her background, the challenges she faced growing up, you would never equate that with the impact she's made as an adult. Her name is Oprah Winfrey. So she's going to be sharing. We've listened to her top 10 rules for success before. This is part 2. You know you're on another level when you got 2 top 10 rules for success. Like you got so many nuggets that they had to give you 2. And really that speaks to the level of person that she is. You guys, you want to take notes. You want to be focused. This is a woman that's a billionaire. I didn't mistake that. A billionaire. You got to remember, people have funny things around money. Money is just the amount of value you bring to the world. That's all money is. So when you got funny things about money, it's probably because you ain't got none. So you want to, it's like that person you break up with. Of course they stink. I don't want to rock with them. It's because y'all ain't together no more. When you were with them, it was all lovey-dovey. Same thing with money. Money is your value you bring to the world. She's a billionaire. Think of how many people Oprah has touched. It's really amazing, you guys. So without further ado, let's get into Oprah Winfrey's top 10 rules for success. Make sure you get your notebooks and take notes because we're going to have some live takeaways from you guys. If you're at work and you can't talk, no problem. Type it in the chat bar. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you guys are learning and the perspectives that you guys got so we can learn from all the nuggets that you guys bring. Let's get it. Oprah Winfrey, top 10 rules for success. Let's get it. Boom.
You know how I said I'm going to make 300 people either millionaires or at least 6 figures? And people...
I think that success is a process. And I believe that my first Easter speech in Kosciuszko Baptist Church at the age of 3.5 was the beginning. And that every other speech, every other book I read, every other time I spoke in public was a building block. So that by the time I first sat down to audition in front of a television camera and somebody says, read this, what allowed me to read it so comfortably and be so at ease with myself at that time was the fact that I'd been doing it a while. If I'd never read a book, or I'd never spoken in public before, I would have been traumatized by it. So the fact that we went on the air with the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 nationally, and people say, oh, but you're so comfortable in front of the camera, you can be yourself. Well, it's because I've been being myself since I was 19. And I would not have been able to be as comfortable with myself had I not made mistakes on the air and been allowed to make mistakes on the air and understand that it doesn't matter. You know, there's no such thing to me as an embarrassing moment. No such thing. If I tripped and fell, if my bra strap showed, if my slip fell off, if I fell flat on my face, there's no such thing as an embarrassing moment because I know that there is not a moment that I could possibly experience on the air that somebody else hasn't already experienced. So when it happens, you say, oh, my slip fell off. And it's no big deal. I mean, like, I was on TV the other day and somebody says, oh, Oprah, you have a run. Have you not seen a run before in your life? Well, I get them too, let me tell you. So, I mean, I can't be embarrassed. I can't be embarrassed. Now, when I first started out, That was not true, because I was pretending to be somebody I was not. I was pretending to be Barbara Walters. So I'd go to a news conference, and I was more interested in how I phrased the question and how eloquent the question sounded, as opposed to listening to the answer. Which always happens when you're interested in impressing people instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it took me a while. It took me messing up on the air during a live newscast. I was doing a list of foreign countries, and there was all these foreign names, and then Canada was thrown in, and I called Canada, and I got so tickled that I called Canada. I go, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. Excuse me, that wasn't Canada, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. And then I started laughing. Well, it became the first real moment I ever had. And the news director later said to me, well, if you do that, then you should just keep going. You shouldn't correct yourself and let people know. Well, I know, well, who's ever heard of Canada? So that was, for me, the beginning of realizing that, you can laugh at yourself and you can make a mistake, and it's not the end of the world. You don't have to be perfect. And biggest lesson for me for television, because then it didn't matter. Didn't matter. Oh, sorry, bra strap showing. What inspired me was, and continues to inspire me, is a primal and fundamental desire to fulfill the highest expression of myself as a human being. I don't want to die not having completely burnt out every single possibility of my humanity. I just want to, when I leave this planet, I want everybody to did that, used it all up. Not another thing I could do. There wasn't another person I could have given of myself to. There wasn't another deed I could have done. There wasn't that you want to say, I want to fill it up. You want to take this whole human existence, which, when you think about it, Godfrey, is really pretty damn miraculous.
It is.
It is.
It is.
When you think about what it means to be a human being on the planet Earth right now, that's pretty awesome. So I just want to take that to the max. I want to say, no need to come back as a human. Angel status.
I know you hate this phrase, but what is your brand, do you think?
I'm the love brand.
Aren't we all, darling?
No, I'm the love brand.
Aren't we all?
I'm the love brand.
You like to shower love around?
Yeah, that's what it is. I am the love and connection brand. That's what I am.
You're a bit like Barry White was the love god. You're the love brand.
I'm the love brand. Because ultimately, everything that I'm saying, whether it's in my magazine, whether it's Gail on the radio, whether it's the Oprah Winfrey show, and now everything about the Channel Own, it's about opening your space, your heart space, so that you can love more. That's really all money is for. Money is worth nothing if it can't buy you the opportunity to love more. You can't call in sick. You can't ever give less than 100%. And if you are sick, which I have been a couple of times, that's when you got to pull up to 110, 120, because people have come from all over the country, and this is their moment. They've saved their money. They bought the airline tickets. They got new outfits. They call their sisters, their cousins, their aunts, their mother-in-laws, their mothers, and that is why they're there, to see you. So I feel a sense of responsibility, a sense of obligation, a sense of respect, reverence, honor for those people. The first day I went to school, I was in a classroom. By the time I was, 6 years old, didn't go to school until I was 6 years old because I was living with my grandmother at that time.
Sure.
But she had taught me how to read the Bible stories. So I went into the classroom knowing Nicodemus, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I could spell all of those words. I thought I was preaching to my kindergarten teacher. So she's like, who is this girl? So I was never placed in an environment where I was ever made to feel inferior. I always felt like I'm the smartest kid in this room. And because I was never placed never put in a position where I was made to feel less than, I didn't grow up feeling less than, know?
And the rest, as they say, is history.
And the rest, they say, is history. And it's all about what you believe. I say this to, when I do something on my network now called Life Class, the fundamental key to success is what you believe is true for yourself. Not what you want, not what you desire. It's what do you believe? You know, you can say, I want to be the most successful person in the world. Yeah. But if you believe that there's a glass ceiling and you're going to have a hard time kicking through that glass ceiling, you will be defined by the glass ceiling. And the great beauty and gift of my life is that I was never defined by the box that other people tried to put me in. Fame comes with the mission and purpose. You know, you cannot define me or try to put me in a box. And you can't look at my life unless you look at the whole life. So I am a Negro, formerly, born in 1954 in Mississippi at a time when it was an apartheid state. And to be sitting here with you as your first guest in 2011 is a miracle that is beyond anything I could actually do for myself. So there's something greater at work here. And the thing that's greater at work, the force that has, and forces that have made this happen in my life, along with me working as hard as I have, it's bigger than I am. And fame is the vehicle from which I get to have this platform. So do I like that? I appreciate it. If I had been what I thought I was going to be, and that is a great fourth grade teacher, I would have also liked that. Because at the core of me, I am a teacher, and I am happiest when I feel that people are getting something, learning something, enhancing themselves in a way that they never thought of before. That's really, truly one of my favorite moments on television or in any experience, when I'm just one-on-one with a friend or somebody I don't even know, being able to share something with them and they think, I never thought of it. Gee, Stedman and I were in a hotel watching some bad television, and I was complaining about the state of television, talk shows in particular. And he said, why don't you change it? Why don't you just get your own network? And I thought that was a ridiculous idea. And then he started to talk about it, and he wrote some things down. And I saw the word own. I thought, O-W. Oh, those are my initials. And I said, wouldn't it be something if I could create a network that was really about mindful, and I underlined the word mindful, television.
15 years later, those scribblings came closer to reality when she was approached by David Zaslav, the president of the Discovery Network.
My view was, if we want to do this, you have to be all in. She paused, and then she said to me, it's meant to be. And we shook hands, and that's how our journey began.
At first I thought, great, a network, oh, geez, this is the dream I had. Oh, and I actually showed him the piece of paper where I'd written it down and said, and as that started to settle in with me, I thought, whoa, what is this I've gotten myself into? This is a lot more work than I ever imagined.
Are you scared?
Very scared. I was very scared. And I would wake up in the middle of the night, literally, like clutching my chest. Like, what have I done? What have I done?
What if you fail?
That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. The reason why I made the decision to go forward is because I believe that people deserve to have value-centered, inspirational programming for themselves. I believe that television has become, in many ways, banal. It has become insipid, and not all of it. But I think that I have something to offer. I did this at the end of my show. I did my favorite guest of all time. So that's hard to do out of literally thousands and thousands. They supposedly estimated that there's like 35,000 people I interviewed over the years. But there was one woman out of all the celebrities, out of all of the famous, non-famous, infamous people. One woman. Who was she? Her name is Terry Trent. Listen to this story. I'm going to try to shorten it for you, Godfrey. Okay. Terry Trent, born and raised in a village in Zimbabwe. 11 years old. She's doing her brother's homework. She wants to go to school. Her father says, no,
You have to educate the boy.
Yes, that's right.
That was the tradition.
That's right. The boy has to go to school. You can't go to school. So she starts doing her brother's homework. She does his brother's homework. He goes to school. He gets all A's on his homework, yet he doesn't know the answers to the question. The teacher comes to the village to say, what is going on here? This boy doesn't know the answers, but his homework's perfect. She finds out that Terai, his younger sister, is doing his homework. She begs the father to let Terai go to school. The father says, no, she can't go to school. Finally, he marries her off. She marries at 11 and a half years old. She gets married. She has 3 children by the time she's 18 years old. A woman comes to the village from an NGO, Heifer International, and asks, what are your dreams? This is going to make me cry. Finally, it's going to make me cry. Asks her, what are your dreams? This child has never thought about what her dreams were. She says, write down your dreams. She writes down her dreams on a piece of paper and she folds them in a tin can and she buries them under a rock. The first dream was to be able to go to a school in the United States of America and get a college degree. She ends up, through some miracle of the NGO, going to the United States. She gets a college degree.
Wow.
Yes, she gets a 4-year degree in 3 years. Terai Trent. She goes back to the rock in Zimbabwe. She writes her next goal on the piece of paper. She buries it under the rock. She writes, I want to get a master's degree. She goes back to the United States. She gets a master's degree. By this time, she now has 5 children. She's married to a man who still beats her. Incredible. She goes back to the United States. She gets her master's degree. After the master's degree, she goes back to the rock in Zimbabwe. She writes down her final goal is to get a doctorate degree. And last year, she became Dr. Terai Trent.
Where did you find it?
Where did I find it? I found her in the Nicholas Kristof's book called something the sky, underneath the sky or the sky. I found her in Nicholas Kristof's book. Mm-hmm. And I was reading the story. I had Nicholas Kristof on the show. Nicholas Kristof, the famous New York Times writer. And she wasn't there. She wasn't a part of the show. I'm reading the story. I can't believe this book, the story of this woman, as I'm reading the story. So when we go to do the show, the producers have Nicholas Kristof on. They bring on other guests, but this woman isn't there. I go, how could you not have her there? So we tape another show with Nicholas Kristof. We go back. I go, fine, we're going to find that woman, Terai Trent. By this time, she's living in the United States. We followed her back to Zimbabwe to the rock. We pulled the tin can from underneath the rock. And that is my favorite guest of all time.
And the worst?
I don't have a worst. I don't have a worst. But the reason why she, and as I said this on my show, the reason why Terai Trent is my favorite guest of all time is because she represents in that one story of the little girl in a village in Zimbabwe who had a dream and the heart and depth and discipline to pursue it. She represents everything I tried to say in every show in 25 years. She literally, through her life story, sums up the message that I was trying to give to every single one of my viewers. You can. You can. Keep trying. Don't give up.
You have to believe.
You have to believe. The thing that I do best.
Man, that was deep, y'all. I told y'all Oprah would be bringing it, man. Y'all thought I was joking. Y'all thought it was going to be the Oprah Winfrey show. No, it was Nugget Central. Rox, what you got?
I absolutely love this top 10. To be honest, I feel very highly emotional. It's weird. It's not weird because as she's speaking, it's like even though we're watching her through a screen, it's almost like you could still feel her presence. And it's so like absolutely incredible that she has the power to touch so many people, even if it's just through a screen. So to me, it's just so phenomenal, everything that she's been able to accomplish. But it's not so much the accomplishments, it's also who has she become inside of the journey and really knowing herself. So I absolutely love this. And some of my biggest takeaways, I loved in the very beginning when she talked about how success is the process. She talked about how when she was a little girl, she was already reading and she was already speaking. And so once she started to come into auditioning for certain things, it was just like people had thought like it just happened, but no, really, it happened years and years and years ago. So every single thing inside of our lives, whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, is that every single thing we go through is just a stepping stone in order for us to get to where we want to go. And how she said there is no embarrassing moments. There is no, oh, I should have done this or that. Like every single thing is a process and it's a journey of learning. And you can't learn without the mistakes. You can't learn without sometimes messing up and having an embarrassing moment and just being able to laugh at yourself. So I really love that. And I loved how she talked about really getting to know who you are at your deepest core. And how she said, she's like, I've always, like, if I would have been a fourth grade teacher, that would have been amazing. But her teaching, she's still a teacher. And for her, inside of who she really is, that's who she is. And that's what she's given to the world. And that's why she's been so successful, because she's found her core, and inside of that, who she is. And inside who she is, she's been able to pay that forward. And so I really love that. And I love the last story right now. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Just the power of belief, the power of really going for the things that you really, really want. And she says, like, this whole story embodied every single thing that I was trying to bring through the 35 years of being on television, or 25 years. And that was that you can do anything that you set yourself out to do. And everything else that comes in the way is just an excuse. And if you let yourself be limited by that, just think about when she was talking about how she wants to die. Like, she wants to die and be able to say, that's it. Like, I'm empty. I don't have anything much. Like, I don't have anything more. And she's like, and then I don't have to come back here again, because everything inside of me was lived totally and fully. So that to me was just amazing. I love this top 10.
Dope. Epic stuff. Love it. Nuggets on nuggets. A couple of my top ones. I love the do it all that Roxy was just talking about. I'm going to tell you guys, if you're at a job, if you're at a place, if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're wondering why you're unhappy, and I can only say this because I experienced it. And I say I experienced it, not experienced it, because I did both of them, but I'm still experiencing it. Because for me, I still do part-time physical therapy, and I'm doing the same thing over and over. And it's not that it's the wrong thing or the bad thing. It just gets boring. And for me, I got to remember there's more for me to give. You got to remember where you're at is not the end point. You got checkpoints. You got different levels to reach. And if you're at the same place, wondering why you're bored as hell, wondering why things aren't fun, wondering why it seems like, damn, I was just doing this, and I was just doing this, and I was just doing this. You weren't put here to do the same thing over and over. And that's going to be an inkling to why you're not happy, why you're not growing, and why you're not using up all the stuff you were given. You want to know the cure for that? You pursue skills, knowledge, and experiences. That's why when I started on Herbalife, I pursued my coach. A lot of y'all are waiting for somebody to hit y'all up. If you're on the team, if you're just tuning in, whatever it is, you're waiting on somebody to knock on your door and say, yo, what's up? You ready to go get it? That's not how life works, you guys. You got to get off your ass and go get it. I see such a small percentage of people that say, yo, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to pursue. And then you wonder why you're sitting at a job getting paid $11 an hour because they don't care. All they want you to do is a certain amount of stuff so they can make the money for the business. They're not worried about you. They're worried about the business. And you're letting that person that's worrying about the business and not about you direct your future. You ain't taking no responsibility. And then you're going to wonder why, man, I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. Bills keep piling up. How much knowledge have you pursued in the last 90 days? How many new books have you read? How many mentors have you sought out? How many new experiences and new skills have you learned and had? If it's zero, then that's probably why you are where you are. And I had to have the same conversation with myself. I was sitting there doing the same thing over and over, just waiting till Friday afternoon where I could take the little bit of money I earned and go have a party at the club with my boys. That's what I was doing. Or maybe go to a nice dinner. And I was like, is that what you're living life for? to have enough money just for the week to go to dinner on Friday? There's so much more to you than that. So much more to you than that you have to give. But you got to pursue it. You got to pursue it. So that was number one. Number two, always do your best. Always do your best. I have people that say, oh, they were supposed to come to a workout with us, or they were supposed to come to an Herbalife event for us with us, or they're supposed to show up to this, and they'll be like, oh, I'm sick. I've literally walked outside of doing a training, threw up, and walked right back in because I was doing the training. I had to do it. And you guys keep wondering why you don't grow. It's because you think somebody else has to do it for you. You getting sick, you not feeling good, has nothing to do with your success. Nothing to do with your success, because if you let feelings dictate your outcomes, then you will never be successful. That's like getting in the ocean and saying, yo, I'm going to go where this wind takes me. If I get to the port I want to go to, cool. If not, that's all right too. That's basically what you say when you let your feelings take you wherever. Oprah Winfrey said, yo, I give 100% every day. And if I don't feel good, I've got to give 110% that day, because I got people like depending on me. They flew out here. They got a new outfit. They took time off work. I got to show up for them. And you think Oprah Winfrey waited till she was Oprah Winfrey to do that. No. You don't think when she first had her show she was like that. You don't think when she was on the radio station she was like that. You don't think when she was interviewing she was like that. It doesn't happen when you get there. It happens to get you there. And I see so many people, oh man, I'm not feeling good, man. I'm not going to make it. And then you wonder why you're not being successful. You letting some feelings dictate your outcomes. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. So give 100%, 110%. People are, oh man, Aubrey, you being rough. Oh man, Aubrey, you being this. No, I'm being what life is, real. You think your landlord on the first is going to be like, yo man, I know you wasn't feeling that good a few days this week, this month. We going to just take a few dollars off the rent. Don't trip. Hell no. Hell no. Your credit cards ain't going to say it. Your car note ain't going to say it. Your landlord ain't going to say it. Nobody's going to say that. So why do you say that? You the only one giving leeway. Everybody else not giving no leeway. You the only one like, oh man, I need some leeway. Yo, man, the creditor is like, hell no. I don't care if you got pneumonia. You going to get this money up. But you back there like, nah, man, I had a cough today. I got a little cough. Can't go to the gym. I'm like, what the hell? You sick. You need to be in the gym even more. That's what I tell people. You need to get a workout even more. That 110%. When you're sick, you need even more help. Why would you take off? Man, got a little cough. I got to sit here and watch TV. What the hell? This is the mindset of people. And then they sit there the next day wonder, why am I broke and not happy? Man, it's crazy, y'all, because nobody tells them. I'm telling you, because if nobody ever told you, I told you right now. You can never say you didn't know. Next point, this is my last one. She said when she got to school, she felt that she wasn't less than because her grandmother had already taught her to read the Bible. And she knew some pretty big words, Nicodemus and these other words and names. And I point that out because her grandmother couldn't have poured into her if her grandma didn't pour into herself and then intentionally give. So I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you want kids. I don't know if you have a family around you. I don't know if you want a family around you. But what I would say is, how are you going to be able to equip those you love with tools for success if you don't equip yourself first? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust the school system to give my children, one day when we have them, everything they need for success. I'm not going to say, yo, that's a school's responsibility. I'm going to just pick you up after. I'm going to see you at the house after, and then I hope you get them nuggets earlier in the day. I'm not going to leave that responsibility on somebody else. Her grandmother, because her mom had her when she was really young, took responsibility and said, hey, we're going to learn these things together, so that when she went to school when she was 6 years old, she was already equipped. that really inspired me because that made through her grandmother doing that, her grandmother indirectly changed millions of lives. And for me, I thought about, damn, how could I be like the grandmother and equip people in my life so that and when they go out in the world, they feel not less than? Is it me, teaching our kids how to read early? Is it me sitting down after they get home from school and sharing some extra things with them? Is it me sitting down with my brothers and my sisters now? Is it me doing a free Triple M for the last 3 years? What is it for you? How are you giving to those around you so that they don't feel less than? And to do that first, you must give to yourself. You must equip yourself first. So I really thought that was powerful because I think for her and for me, I've seen so many people that have a fundamental lack of confidence. I don't know what it is, but at the core of it, a lot of people have a fundamental lack of confidence. They don't think they're worth it. They don't think they can. They don't think they deserve it. And then that plays out in their life, why they stay at a job too long, why they stay in a relationship too long, why they stay in a city too long. Because at the core of it, remember your beliefs, they don't believe they deserve it. And I feel like for her, what made the difference for Oprah is that she always felt like she was deserving because her grandmother had given her knowledge and wisdom. So when she walked in, she didn't fundamentally, the first day, you got to remember 6 years old, that's the fundamentals of your life. She didn't feel some type of way because she didn't know things. That only happened because her grandma took the time and put in the effort. And that really touched me because that was powerful. So let's get a few nuggets from you guys. I know I went over a little bit. The nuggets, this was a great video. Who's got one? Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get it. Shalonda, what you got for us?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, Shalonda from Phoenix, Arizona. I got to do it like Aubrey. Good morning. Let's go. My biggest takeaway is, number one, be authentic. Just be your true self. You know how to be yourself. Nobody will never be you. You only have yourself to be. And another one was number 6, find your core self. Get uncomfortable, get better each day, which goes into learning something new each day and figure out solutions to your situations, your problems, your daily struggle in life. And then I'm going to finish it off with what Roxy said. Become better during your journey. Learn from your mistakes.
Love it. Learn from your mistakes. Become better. It's a process. It's not is or isn't. I love that, Shalana. Great stuff. Let's get another share. Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up. While I'm looking for somebody, I got something from Brittany from Minnesota. You can't look at my life unless you look at the whole life. What I feel this means is you can't judge a person in your dreams unless you know where you came from. Everyone has a past and things that shape the person you are. It's what you do with that past to build that future. I love it. Susie, what you got for us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My biggest takeaway was point number 5 that she made that says, you are what you believe. And she talks about how your belief system is like a big fundamental key to your success. And that goes a long way because I feel like, sometimes you think yourself like, oh no, I can't do it. You talk yourself out of situations. And I feel like the more I expose myself to the situations that I once thought that I couldn't do it. But as I started believing that I can, and I keep telling myself that, I feel like I've gotten so much value. And what I mean by that is recently, when I led one of our team calls, I was nervous. I didn't feel like I had anything to really share that was really impactful. But, I've got a lot of great feedback from that. And that made me even grow my belief system even more. So just believe in yourself.
There you go. Believe in yourself makes all the difference. And then acting, even if the belief isn't there, because through the action, the belief comes. Have you ever not feel like working out and then you just do the few movements at the beginning and then all of a sudden you feel like working out? It's sometimes you need the action versus the feeling. Let's get one more. Ashley Ann, what you got for us?
Okay. Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry. So thank you for this call. I really do appreciate this every week, every Monday, starting our week off right. So for me, I also, what it was very impactful for this call was, yes, you are what you believe, but you define your own glass ceiling, like you define your own box. But if you don't have those limiting beliefs, you can do so much more and add so much more. And which ties into providing value. Like you have to believe that you deserve this and other people deserve what you are providing or adding to into their lives, pouring into their lives. You've got to believe in what you're giving out so that way you can get it back as well. Like it's just, it comes for a full circle, and you just honor the people that are around you and then pay that forward. And the last one was don't give up. You definitely have to like write down everything, write down your dreams, write down your aspirations, write down what makes you happy, what pushes you, what fires you up, like, and then not only that, have the heart and the depth and everything to pursue those dreams. So that was huge this morning. Thank you.
Yep, awesome. Great takeaways, Ashley. Love it. I love the last one. She said you have to have the heart, dreams, depth, and discipline to pursue those things in your heart. That was dope. Like, imagine all the people that Oprah's interviewed. Like some of the most infamous, famous, noteworthy people around the world. She picked Miss Tara Trent, I think is her last name, because of her heart, her dreams, her depth, and her discipline. That was really powerful, you guys. What do you have inside of your heart? I guarantee you guys, I want to leave you with this. If you're at a job, if you're doing something you don't like, because I can speak from this because I've experienced this. I don't think you were put here to do something for 20, 30, 40, 50 years that you don't love. I don't think the creator, and if you believe whatever your beliefs are, I don't think you were created to be here and do something you don't love and were created to do for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I don't think that's it. I think you have stepping stones. I think you're going to have to do some things maybe you're not in love with to get to what you love. Just like when you're trying to get to the other side of the river, the steps in the river aren't the destination, but they're required. You're going to have to get your feet wet. You have to watch your foot placement. You're going to have to keep your balance. But that's not where you're meant to stay. And I feel like having the heart, the dream, the depth, and the discipline is what makes the end point of the journey, you getting to where you want to be, possible. So dope, you guys. Had the most ever on Triple M today, 28. That was fire, you guys. We used to have like 3 and 4. We used to be on the phone calling in. You didn't even know. It was maybe just us sometimes. We didn't know who else was on the phone. We were just listening with the phone on. I want to just say thank you guys. I want to say thank you guys for posting the flyer again, tagging friends, inviting people. You guys, I really, really love what we get to do every single Monday morning. I feel like it makes the biggest difference. And I feel like how many more people can we bring to this? How many more people can we give the ticket to start their Monday strong? I think it'll make the biggest difference like Oprah's grandma did for her. Let's get it. I'm going to take everybody off mute. Where's that energy at?
Hey, woo! Happy Monday!
I'm fired up. Peace out. Peace out.